Hey guys, and welcome on in to another episode of Getting Wild and Flying High, free NHL and MLB picks. I'm Terry, ready to break down today's slate, and going to jump right into it here. Pack slate to get through, and we will start in the NHL. Um, I worked on the spreadsheet some more, so um, worked on it some more, and liking how it's looking here. So jumping right into this game, the only NHL playoff game that we have, uh, Dallas Stars and the Vegas Golden Knights in this first series, our first game of the series. Dallas, 3.62 goals for, 3.08 against. Vegas, pretty similar numbers, 3.73 goals for, 3 goals against. Um, Dallas 3-3 on the road in this playoff so far. The big thing is special teams in this one. Dallas has the advantage both in power play and penalty kill against the Vegas Golden Knights. Looking at recent matchups between the opponents here, Dallas 7-1-1 in their last 9 against the Vegas Golden Knights, but only 3-3 in Vegas. Vegas 3-1-1 in the last 5 meetings in Vegas. I'm not counting the playoff series that happened in Edmonton. I'm not counting that here as it didn't actually happen in Vegas. So, in the last actual 5 meetings between Dallas and Vegas, Vegas is 3-1-1. This total opened at a 5.5. If you've been seeing what these teams have done in the playoffs so far, Dallas has gone over 5.5 in 8 of their 13 playoff games. Vegas has gone over 5.5 in 9 of their last 11 playoff games this year. The issue why I'm not on the over is 10 of the last 11 meetings between these teams have gone under 5.5. They've been lower scoring games when these two teams face each other. And we get a lot of overtime. 6 of the last 9 meetings between the teams have gone to overtime. So looking how things have gone so far, I'm on the draw. Dallas has gone to overtime in both of the first game of the series against Minnesota and against Seattle, losing both games in overtime. And I think they do it once again. I think this game goes to overtime. I think Vegas gets the win here in Game 1 of the series. So I'm on the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm on the draw, and I'm also on some player props here. Rope Hintz for Dallas has a goal in 3 of his last 4 games, plus 195 to score for Rope Hintz. Jack Eichel has an assist in 5 of his last 7 games, plus 100 to get an assist. But the main player that I'm focusing on tonight is Jonathan Marchessault. Um, he has over 1.5 points in 3 of his last 4 games, and his point prop is only minus 128 to get 1 point. And he has multi-point games in 3 of his last 4 games, so I like that. And I don't usually play shot props very often, but Jonathan Marchessault um, has 5 or more shots in 5 straight games, but his prop isn't 4.5 shots; it's 3.5 shots for plus 100. So he has been going over that 3.5, going over 4.5, and I'm going to get plus money here for him to get 4 shots, and that's exactly where I'm going here in this one, taking Jonathan Marchessault to get a point and also over 3.5 shots on goal. Hey, Terry. Hey, Crystal. How are you? I hope you are doing well. And we will jump right on over to the MLB here. A big slate of games in the MLB. And I'm going to start off with this one, Arizona and Pittsburgh. Zach Allen against Oviedo for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Arizona pretty much has the advantage in all areas here. Fourth against right-handed pitchers, OPS 789. Pittsburgh is only 20th, 6.93. Road record: Arizona 11-9. Arizona 5-3 against the last 8 meetings against Pittsburgh overall. Looking at how the pitchers have pitched recently, Zach Gallen has gone between 5 to 7 innings, giving up 1 to 3 earned runs, and that's rough. That's rough for him, is to be giving up this many runs. Previous to this stretch, he was going pretty much every game giving up one or nothing. So he is starting to, I guess, cool off a little bit. But if giving up 1, 2, 3 earned runs is bad, then definitely somebody I want to back. In this one, hasn't allowed any home runs, getting 6 to 7 strikeouts, which again is lower than his usual number overall. Oviedo, 7, 6 earned runs, only gave up 1 earned run in his last start, so did have a better performance in his last start. But he's walking guys 2, 3, and 5. Not striking out very many, not giving up any home runs, but he's getting hit and he's walking guys. Looking at player props here for me, Gabriel Moreno, 438 average the last 7 days, only 262 against righties, but he's smashing the ball lately, so I will take him here if he's in the lineup. Dominic Fletcher, as well as my favorite player for Arizona, 320 the last 7 days, 447 against righties. He is smashing righties. For Pittsburgh, Brian Reynolds, Tusapita Marcano, two players I'm targeting. Marcano has not done well against Gallen, 0 for 4 overall. So I may not play him, but I have him listed here for anybody that is interested in Pittsburgh props. I wanted to make sure that I had a couple that are playable here in this one. Nick is on the Stars, doesn't surprise me, and the over 5.5. I was tempted. But the previous history matters. And I know they're scoring a lot right now, but 10 of the last 11 meetings going under scares me right off that over. Diamondbacks first 5 minus a half. Yes, I like that. Don't like the odds, so I'm going full game in this one. Our next game, Yankees and the Cincinnati Reds. I'll be a bit quicker here. Schmidt against Lively. The stats are here for anyone that wants to see them. Overall in this game, though, I'm not too interested in it. The Yankees, Schmidt can be good, giving up 0 or 2 earned runs, but he can also be smashed, giving up 7. Not exactly sure what I'm going to get from him. He's been walking 2 to 3 batters a game, and he has been getting hit overall. Lively on the other side has only pitched in 2 games, going 3 and 2 innings. So I don't know how long he's going to pitch in this game, but he's done very well in both starts so far, only giving up 1 earned run and not giving up a walk or any home runs. Looking at player props here, Aaron Judge, 346 the last 7 days, 304 against righties. And then Jake Fraley here for Cincinnati, hitting 400 the last 7 days, 316 against right-handed pitchers. So those are the 2 player props I will be playing, of course, if both players are confirmed and are in the lineup. Moving on along to our next game here at Milwaukee Brewers and the Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa Bay took their sweet time announcing who would be starting in this game, but it will be Shane McClanahan, who's 7-0 on the year with a 2.34 ERA, and is coming off his worst start of the season, going 4 innings, giving up 4 earned runs, 2 home runs, 4 walks, and only 3 strikeouts against the New York Yankees. But he's not facing the New York Yankees now. He's facing the Milwaukee Brewers, who are 29th OPS against left-handed pitchers. They have heavily struggled against left-handed pitchers, but they haven't struggled against Tampa Bay in the past, going 7-1 in the last 8 meetings between the teams. Tampa has the pitching advantage by far. Tampa Bay has the hitting advantage by far. Big price for the Rays. And I'm not going to get to a side or total here. As I said, it's too pricey for me with the Rays, but I'm not taking the Brewers in this spot. But player props, Owen Miller, hitting .500 the last 7 days, .394 against lefties overall. But he's 0 for 3 in his three matchups against three at bats against McClanahan. But with the way he's hitting right now, I'm willing to overlook the three at bats, whatever that was. I'm sure he wasn't hitting like he's hitting right now. So I will take Owen Miller, of course, if he's in the lineup. And then for Tampa Bay, Yandy Diaz uh, has been injured lately, so I don't know if he's going to be returning to the lineup in this game or not. But 444 last 7 days, 345 against lefties or righties. Harold Ramirez and Randy Rosarena, both over 300 last 7 days and against righties. So those are the player props I like in this one. McClanahan for Cy Young, Rays -1.5. Yeah, we'll see how he does. See if he can bounce back after his worst start of the season in his last game. Moving on along to the next game here, the Detroit Tigers and the Washington Nationals. Detroit dead last in OPS against right-handed pitchers. Washington, number 6 overall against left-handed pitchers. Record versus opponent doesn't really matter too much here as these teams haven't faced each other in quite a bit. But Washington, 4-1 in the last 5 meetings at home against Detroit. Looking at the pitchers, Irvin against Boyd. Pitching advantage here for Washington. Huge hitting advantage here for Washington. Washington's at home, and I'm getting great odds to take them, which is exactly what I did. Washington Nationals money line, full game. Irvin is off a rough start, going 4 innings, 6 earned runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. But Boyd on the other side, 6 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 5 earned runs. He is giving up a lot of earned runs consistently, and I'd like to see this Tigers team hit Irvin, being dead last in OPS against righties. So I do like Washington in this matchup. Player props, Riley Green, 529 the last 7 days for Detroit, but he's only 256 against righties. So he's been smashing the ball lately, and if you want to take somebody for Detroit, that is who I would take. Not sure if I will actually take him or not. For the Washington Nationals, Dominic Smith and Lane Thomas, both hitting well the last 7 days, both hitting 333, 362 overall against lefties. So I like both guys there to get hits, of course, if they are in the lineup. Tigers versus Nats, hit the like button. Yes, hit the like button. Nick doesn't have too much thoughts. And I think, Nick, you love bum fights. I'm surprised you're not involved in this game. But it would be Nats or nothing for you. And yes, that's exactly where I'm going in this game. We will move on along to the next one here. Chicago Cubs and the Philadelphia Phillies. In this one, Stroman against Suarez here. Stroman coming off his worst start of the season, going only 2 innings, giving up 6 earned runs, 1 home run, 2 walks, and only 3 strikeouts. Suarez has only pitched in 1 game, going 4 innings, 3 earned runs, no home run, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. And now he gets to face the 3rd best offense against left-handed pitchers. Philadelphia is the 7th best offense against right-handed pitchers. And that just says offense to me. Offense, offense, offense. And I got the total for this one at 8.5 with the over. I like runs on both sides here in this one. The Cubs are struggling. And as appealing as their money line price is in this game, I'm going to stick with the over here in this one. Looking for the Cubs, Seiya Suzuki, 381 the last 7 days, 394 against lefties, and he's 2 for 3 in his history against Suarez. Christopher Morel, 333 last 7 days, 429 against lefties. He's 0 for 2 against Suarez, but I can overlook that. And for the Philadelphia Phillies, JT Realmuto, Bryson Stott, 471 the last 7 days, 344 against lefties, 330 against Suarez. And Bryson Stott, he's 2 for 3 against Suarez. 304 last 7 days, only 262 against um, lefties. But I'm okay with taking him here in this one. And some people might be asking, Terry, why aren't you taking Bryce Harper? He's hitting 304 the last 7 days. He's hitting 483 overall against lefties. Why are you not taking him? And the answer is he has had 13 at bats against Suarez, and he's got one hit. So for whatever reason, he's hitting 0.77, so not even a 100 average against Suarez. Of course, he's hitting the ball right now well, and if you want to take Bryce Harper, feel free. I'm not though, just because he has struggled heavily against his pitcher. I'll take Realmuto and I'll take Bryson Stott in this game. Oh, hit the 1-800-GAMBLER button. Okay, yeah. So don't hit the like button according to Nick. Hit the 1-800-GAMBLER button. Lean Phillies here, but nothing. Yeah. Um, no side for me. Just give me a bunch of runs in this game. Moving on along to the next one here, Baltimore Orioles and the Toronto Blue Jays in this game. Baltimore, 5th OPS against left-handed pitchers. Toronto, 11th overall against righties. 13-8 on the road for Baltimore. 13-6 at home for Toronto. Toronto 7-3 in the last 10 meetings, but they do a lot better in Baltimore than in Toronto against Baltimore for whatever reason. Toronto 4-4 in the last 8 meetings at home against Baltimore. Gibson against Kikuchi, pitching advantage for Kikuchi. Um, who will either be lights out or, as we've seen in 2 of his 3 games recently, giving up 4 and 5 earned runs. Um, and of course, nothing in his other start. Giving up 2 or 3 home runs. So if he's getting hit, he's giving up home runs. He is giving up runs, still getting strikeouts for the most part. Gibson on the other side, 5 to 6 innings, 6 earned runs, 2 earned runs, 4 earned runs. Walking guys, getting strikeouts as well. Toronto money line, a little bit too pricey for my liking. Over 9.5, a little bit too high of a number for my liking. Toronto's not hitting all that well right now. Gucci can be lights out at certain times. So when it comes to side or total, I'm staying off here. I don't really have too good of a feeling here in this one. But I do have player props on both sides. Ryan Mountcastle, he's only hitting 200 the last 7 days, but he's 322 against lefties, 444 against Kikuchi, going 4 for 9, and he's a 323 lifetime average against Toronto. For whatever reason, when Mountcastle plays Toronto, he hits really well. He hits home runs. He's got 3 home runs off Kikuchi, so I will not be shocked one bit if Mountcastle gets a home run in this one. Another player for Baltimore, Ryan McKenna, 333 last 7 days, 333 against righties. He's 3 for 8, hitting 375 against Kikuchi. For the Jays, uh, my number one favorite player, if he's playing, is Kevin Kiermaier. Hopefully, he's feeling better after that viral infection that's going through, slowly going through the Jays lineup. Kiermaier 667 the last 7 days, 341 against right-handed pitchers, and he's 6 for 19 against Gibson. So he's hit him well. Brandon Belt also smashing the ball right now. Well, as is Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette has struggled a little bit against Gibson, going 1 for 6. But the way he's hitting the ball right now, I can overlook that. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., 316 the last 7 days, 295 overall against righties. He's 3 for 6, hitting 500 against Gibson. And Danny Jansen, who's 286 last 7 days, only 192 on the season against right-handed pitchers, but he's had 7 at bats against Gibson, and he's hit in 5 of them. So Jansen loves to face Gibson in this game, and those are the players I'm targeting in this game. In this game, lean Jays over though. Yeah, the over streak between these teams is much better in Baltimore. So we'll see. We'll see. Rutschman always hits the Jays well too. Yes, but not against Kikuchi. Let me bring it up here. There's a reason that Rutschman is not on my list here. Dun, 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 dun. Let me bring it up and I will tell you his numbers against Kikuchi. But yes, I do not like Rutschman, as Nick said in the chat, which I'll get to here shortly, because of what he does to the Jays when he faces them. Let me get it here. But against Yusei Kikuchi, he's at the bottom. Here we go. Rutschman is 1 for 7. So 1 for 7. That one hit was a home run, though. But overall, hitting 143 against Kikuchi, he has struggled against Kikuchi for whatever reason. Gibson is a bum. Kikuchi can get hit as well. Yes, sometimes. I love Adley. No, that's an incorrect statement. And Crystal knows. But yes, he's not on my list. McKenna and Mountcastle are to get hits if they're in the lineup. And those are the Toronto players I like in that one. Cleveland and New York Mets. I'll be really quick with this game. No side or total here. Carrasco has been awful this year, facing his former team, which is kind of interesting here. Quantrill has pitched really well lately. Last 2 games, he's had 4 walks, though, so you want to keep those walks down. But overall, he's going long in the game, not giving up too much earned runs. Carrasco's been hit. He's also giving 3 to 4 walks. And I can't take Cleveland 29th against righties in this spot, even against Carrasco, even at a good price. I just can't get involved here. Player props, though, Josh Bell, 273 the last 7 days, only 238 against righties. But he's 6 for 14, hitting 429 against Carrasco. So if I was going to take somebody for Cleveland, probably passing in this game, but if I was taking somebody, it would be Josh Bell. And for the New York Mets, Jeff McNeil, 345 the last 7 days, 282 against righties, 1 for 2 in 2 at bats against Quantrill in this game. This is the perfect matchup for Carrasco returning from injury. Cleveland ranked dead last, first to right-handed pitchers. The Mets, first 5 minus a half. Good luck. Good luck. But I can't back Carrasco. He's just been awful. Even in his last start, 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. That was his best performance of the year. So see if he can replicate or do better than that. But it is Cleveland, so I can understand why you're doing that, Nick. Seattle Mariners and the Atlanta Braves in this one. You will see that I have no player props listed for this game. And I'll be honest, I didn't even look at player props in this game. And that is because I'm on the first 5 under 4.5 at plus 100 in this one. You might be thinking, oh, you're taking an under with the Braves, with this Braves offense. Miller for Seattle has pitched in 3 games so far, going 6, 6, and 7 innings. He's given up 1 earned run in the 3 games, no home runs, 1 walk, and has 18 strikeouts overall. So he has just been pretty much perfect, pretty much, with a 0.47 ERA in 3 starts. Elder on the other side, he's pitching 7 to 5 innings. He's giving up 1 or 2 earned runs, 5 walks in that 1 game, but overall that seems to be a blip here. He's also striking guys out. I think this should be a much lower total, and I'll take the first 5 under 4.5 between these 2 pitchers, and that's where I'll go in this one. If I had to pick a side, I think the Braves probably do end up winning the game, but not getting involved first 5, except for the total in this one. Moving on along to our next matchup, Colorado Rockies and the Texas Rangers. Colorado just announcing their pitcher before the game or before the show started. No results from him in his previous games, so I don't have anything for you there. Colorado, 8-3 in their last 11 against Texas. However, this Texas team has improved drastically over the last couple of years. Um, Fourth OPS against lefties. However, they are not facing a lefty. I had that there because I didn't have the pitcher announced. But as you can see, they're just as good pretty much as against righties overall on the season. Perez on the mound for Texas. Um, he's been getting hit a little bit in his last couple of games. 7 and 4 earned runs in his last 2 starts, 1 home run and 3 home runs in his last start. So some walks as well. So I can't back Perez, obviously, at this price and with what he's done lately. So no play on the side or total for me. But for the Texas Rangers, when they're facing righties, I take Marcus Semien, 320 the last 7 days, 312 against righties. Leody Taveras, 300 the last 7 days. He's also hitting 307 against righties. So those are the two players I would target for Texas. Nobody stood out for the Colorado Rockies for me here. Seattle money line. Elders numbers are fool's gold. His expected ERA is above 4. All right, all right. We'll see what happens. But just give me lower scoring game to start off with, please. Next up, Kansas City Royals, Chicago White Sox. I will be extremely quick in this game. We've got 26 and 21st OBSs against righties. Neither of these teams hit righties very well. Kansas City 7-3 in the last 10 matchups, 10 meetings between the teams. However, White Sox 4-1 in the last 5 at home against the Royals. Kopech against Greinke, both pitchers sub 5 ERAs, but I can't take the over with how these teams are hitting. And overall, both pitchers have pitched a little bit better recently than what we've seen in other games. So no play on the side or total for me. Player props, Jake Berger, Yasmani Grandal, both hitting over 500 the last 7 days. Berger 267 against righties. Grandal 320 against righties on the season. But Berger 2 for 3 against Greinke. And Yasmani Grandal has faced Greinke a lot, going 16 for 58, 276 average. I'll take both of those players in this one. Royals first 5 and full game money line, fading Kopech. Yeah, as you can see, his walks 5, 2, and 7. If he's walking 7 guys, Kansas City Royals don't really need to hit all that much because that's way too many walks for Kopech. So I can see why you're going down that route. And nobody for Kansas City really stood out for me for player props. Next up, Oakland Athletics and the Houston Astros. Waldichuk, 7.02 ERA on the season, giving up 3 to 4 earned runs lately, only going 5 innings. He's also walking guys, walking way too many guys. Belak on the other side, going 4 to 5 innings. He's given up a home run in each of his last 3 starts. Also walking guys, striking guys out, not giving up a whole lot of earned runs. If I was playing this game, it would have to be Houston in some form, but they're obviously pricey. Mauricio Dubon, if he is back, 450 the last 7 days, 379 overall against lefties. He will be who I play in this game, of course, if he is back in the lineup. Moving on along to the next game, Dodgers and the St. Louis Cardinals. Gonsolin against Mats here. Obviously, pitching advantage goes to LA Dodgers by far. Hitting advantage, the Dodgers don't hit lefties well. It's just a fact. 20th overall, 724 against lefties, but 724 OPS is still not bad. If you look at the Cardinals, they're hitting 782 against righties, so not a whole lot better, but they're ranked number 5th. A lot of teams are hitting lefties well this year. I've noticed that. The Dodgers not being one of them. Dodgers 7-2 in the last 9 meetings between the teams. but Cardinals 9-4 in the last 13 at home. Cardinals coming off the big win yesterday against the Dodgers, but I just I can't get to a side or total in this game. I can see Gonsolin pitching well, um, but both pitchers have given up home runs lately. None in their last start, but one in the previous starts before that. So that could be a look. Lots of home runs in the game yesterday. Looking at player props, Freddie Freeman, 444 the last 7 days, only 259 against lefties, but he's 10 for 33 with a 303 average against Steven Matz. Nolan Gorman, 500 the last 7 days, 306 against lefties, 0 for 3 against or against righties, 0 for 3 against Gonsolin, but I can overlook that with how he's hitting lately. And Oscar Mercado hasn't been in the lineup a whole lot, but he's hitting 750, 667 against righties. So I will back him as well in this game. Cards first five. You're brave, Nick. You're brave. Matz against Gonsolin. But yes, Cardinals have the pitching or hitting advantage. I can't trust Steven Matz myself, but best of luck. Next game up, Minnesota Twins, LA Angels, Ryan against Detmers here in this one. Twins with the pitching advantage, the Angels with the hitting advantage. Twins 28th against lefties, only hitting 665. Detmers walking guys, giving up some earned runs, 2 to 4 in his last 3 starts. Joe Ryan, though, no home runs, a few walks, 2 earned runs total in his last 3 starts, going 6 innings in each. Twins have the pitching advantage, but the Angels by far have the hitting advantage. So I'm ultimately going to stay off this one side or total. But player props, Jorge Polanco, 316 last 7 days, 350 against lefties, 333 against Detmers. Kyle Farmer also smashing the ball lately. And for the Angels, I've been playing him a lot recently. Mickey Moniak, 400 the last 7 days, 400 against righties. I like Moniak in this one. 2 more games left, starting with the Boston Red Sox, San Diego Padres. This is my exclusive picks and parlays play of the day. You can get my play in this game up on the site in my 5-play package. Use code MLB to get 30% or 20% off. The link is in the description below of this video. Paxton against Snell here. Overall, when it comes to player props, Ref Snyder and Jaron Duran, both hitting well right now. Ref Snyder 625 the last 7 days, 348 against lefties, 2 for 6 against Snell. Jaron Duran 316 last 7 days, 300 against lefties. He is hit well against lefties in this one. But moving on to the final game of the night between the Miami Marlins and the San Francisco Giants here. Alcantara against DeSclafani. DeSclafani has taken a step back so far from what he was doing earlier on in the year. 5 earned runs, 3 earned runs in his last 2 starts, 2 home runs, 1 home run in his most recent start, going anywhere from 5 to 8 innings. But he's got hit recently. Looking at what Miami does against righties, they're ranked 25th. So if this is a spot for him to bounce back, it is this one. Sandy Alcantara, what happened to him? This is not the Sandy Alcantara we saw for a majority of the season last year. He continues to struggle for the most part. 2 starts before this last one, giving up 2 or 3 home run or 2 or 3 earned runs. Wasn't doing too bad. But his last start here, 7 innings, 6 earned runs, 1 home run, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. He struggled in his last start, and overall he struggled on the season. Brian De La Cruz for Miami, 455 the last 7 days, 272 overall against righties. Blake Sabal for San Francisco, 429 the last 7 days, 303 overall against righties. And that is basically the show. So If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you want to see the spreadsheet, the link is in the description below. I forgot to mention that on yesterday's show. So if you want to check out the spreadsheet before the show, you can definitely do that. I will be getting to work on tomorrow's very soon. So thanks everyone for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Hit the like button if you enjoy the content. Appreciate all the support. And we'll see you sometime tonight, most likely, for the pre-recorded show for tomorrow's games. Best of luck, everybody. And we'll see you again. Have a good one, guys.